Okay, geometry, I've officially recovered from that previous video. We're going to work these 4 more examples out, and you guys will get moving on your homework. So, lots of directions here. Determine if the third statement, this guy right here, follows or is true, successfully is implied by the first 2 given. We get these 2 statements. You're going to say if it's successful that the law of detachment backs it up or the law of syllogism backs it up. If it doesn't follow, then neither of the laws are used and you just say invalid. So for our first one, and if an angle is acute, then it is not obtuse. So if P is true, it implies Q. So if an angle is acute, then it is not obtuse. That's a true statement. So on number 2, they said that ABC is an acute angle. Yeah, they gave us P. And on the third concluding statement, ABC is not obtuse. That's the Q statement. Remember in Mario's video when he used the 3 therefore? That's exactly what's going on right here. P implies Q is a true statement. We're given P, which means that Q must follow. So it's successful. So how should we say this? It does follow successfully. And we can say it with a little gusto, yeah? Put a little exclamation point at the end. Yeah, because it's exciting. And then we would say, is it law of detachment or law of syllogism? Well, again, back to Mario's video or my first video, this was the law of detachment. It's basically a one if-then statement situation. So if there's only one if-then, if this, then that, no more if-thens, you can use detachment. Okay, that's all we got to do for number 7. Let's check out number 8. All right, so again, the directions are, we're trying to see if the conclusion here is a valid one. So what do we got? If you are a teenager, we'll make that our P statement. Then you are always right. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. If you are always right, our Q statement repeats itself. Then it follows that people will listen to you. Seems reasonable. All right, so if you are a teenager, so people will listen to you. Okay. Yeah. I was just checking something out. I want to make sure I wrote this correctly. So, does P then imply R? Right? The R was the listening part. P does imply R because that was the whole purpose of the law of syllogism. Yeah, the flow of logic starts with being a teenager. You're always right. You're always right. People listen to you. You're a teenager. People listen to you. I'm not sure if that statement was true, but from the logic, it follows successfully. It's valid. Why is it valid? Because of the law of syllogism. It's basically the transitive property for logic statements. All right. We're rolling right along. This should be a pretty short video. All right, here's a new one. Number 9. Right angles are congruent. So this is kind of like saying if 2 angles are right angles, That'd be like the P part. Then they are congruent. That would be the Q part. No, they gave us the Q part. Look, if A and B are congruent, they don't have to be right angles. What if they're both 89 degrees? What if they're both 70 degrees? What if they're both 22 degrees? This is not a valid conclusion. It's an invalid conclusion. We don't say law of detachment or syllogism. It's neither one. Invalid. Although you see it was kind of going the law of detachment route. One if-then statement. They give you a hypothesis. You're seeing whether or not the conclusion works. All right. And then here's the last one. If you drive 50 miles per hour in a school zone, then you will get a speeding ticket. Pat received a speeding ticket. Pat receiving a speeding ticket is the Q part of the statement. You cannot conclude that he was going 50 miles per hour in a school zone. What if Pat was going 75 miles an hour on Route 165? He'd get a speeding ticket if caught, so he was not going 55 in a school zone. So this is an invalid conclusion. This could be the reason why he got a speeding ticket. But it's not the only reason why he got a speeding ticket. So, it's an invalid conclusion. You can't assume that that's what followed from this statement. By the way, no, never mind. That seems like a good place to stop. All right, guys. The logic chapter, hopefully you're starting to get more traction with it. Please go on YouTube and seek out other videos, all right? I think a lot of this is just patience, all right? You gotta have the patience to not just say, if I can't learn it in 10 minutes, it's not worth it. Keep checking things out and ask questions where you can. Okay, so my email is always open. Please send. See ya.